So we've hit the corner of the national park at Lost World here on the ridge up, and yeah, this is the views.
Yeah.
Strangely, we've hit this gate. This is completely national park, and here's a sign, and it says Tuluna Lookout. So this is what we've got to look out of. Mount Bishop,
Yeah.
yes there is.
And the creek.
Still at Tuluna Lookout. I just noticed we've got a bit of view towards Lost World now. We just caught a good viewpoint. Then we met up with another random group at exactly the same spot. How random is that? What's that called? Castle Crag. This is the razorback that we're following. And Mount Barney, part of the Kerry Valley. Continuing along the razorback, there's some interesting waterfall areas. Wouldn't be surprised if that's Lamington Falls through there. Bit of a view of the side of Mount Widgie. You go, continuing along the razorback. It's supposed to be a decent day's temperature. Winter 23 degrees. The wind from the southwest is a little bit cold, but it could be colder. Now we're heading to our approach. We have to come in from the left somewhere and be on the ball as to when we climb and where we climb. We've hit a hard section. We've got to come down these rocks here instead of up there.
Yeah,
and then come down here and then get back there. There's Andres, he's already got up, and then we get to the base of that first rock and skirt left. Now we've hit the beginning of the rock, and our path is to the left a little. Generally we're at the base of that rock at this point. Note that rock there. We've hit a series of switchbacks, really steep ones. This is Bear going there and Andres going to the left, so we've hit the bottom of that rock there. We've hit the razorback again. There's another peak bit up there. The views, southwester again, and we're coming across this way. Oh, look at the views down the valley. So we've hit a steep patch here, coming across the side, really steep. Views of Mount Lindsay. This is the next rocky outcrop that we have to get around, and then start here to the left. Still puff from the climb. Look at that. Look at the views. Andres got ahead without having a trace of where to climb, so we've found a bit of a rough track here that we're following. Comes below, see that's pretty dodgy there, you can't get there. You come around the bottom of this rock, and just try and keep going around there. I'd say we've come around the base of the rock, and now we've got to filter our way through here. We've hit a steep corner. There's a rock on there, and yeah, it looks dodgy, but it's not too bad. And then we've found the trace of the track here, so we're going up somewhere here before we zigzag that way. So we got to the corner, amazing views. And obviously this is, if you're looking at these rock faces, obviously this is our way up. You can see people have walked here anyway. We just made it up another level. Yoo-hoo! Deep down there, straight up. Good views again.
Oh, yeah.
There's Widgie. Very nice. We're on top of the creek. That would be. Yep. This is the most water I've seen in it. Here we go. Yeah, definitely the most water I've seen in this. And then the lower level down there. Looks like I've rubbed a bit of black boy onto my skin. Anyway, we've cut from the plateau, Lost World Plateau, east to west. So that cloud in the distance up there is the western side, towards Albert River as opposed to Moran's Creek. So we're going to use the open forest as much as possible now to get to our destination and get into Albert River. Apparently pretty steep. Quite a few weeks in a row here of this type of terrain. We're in the middle of the rainforest now. I'm just choosing the path of least resistance and getting as close to the edge, not letting it get out of sight, so that we can get down the hill where we want to. So we found a ridge that we decided to climb down. Pretty steep, about 70 degrees. But yeah, I just noticed these views going down into the Albert Valley. Very nice. So we're following the spur downhill. We've just got to an easier section just here, about 65 degrees. But yeah, we just got past this section, 70 to 80 degrees. And the problem is the amount of vines that are suspending you when you're trying to get around. So you can't drop down because your feet are caught up in a vine somewhere. Usually the bloody asparagus, I think I noticed, was the main culprit holding us up. It was so dodgy, wrapped around your bag, your legs, everywhere. So we got stuck on the other side and we were talking about turning around, and I didn't like the idea of having to climb up the vines that trapped us on the way down. So I said, maybe let's try this way on the opposite side of a creek. And we've chanced it and found this spur, and it's given us results. We can actually get down and we're not looking at cliffs everywhere. So all good in the hood. So slippery, we've been surfing down this hill.
New pants.
Just go with it. You've been snowboarding, haven't you? Open your feet.
My new pants.
It was a long way. We were following spurs as long as we could. The forest is getting thick and we can hear the Albert River probably just down there, about 50 metres away. So the path of least resistance right now are these tributaries. So yeah, we're just going down that now. So we got there after 50 metres, and this is what we got to, an overflow branch of the Albert River. And here we are on the Albert River, trying to find Tower Rock. We're here on the Albert River, crossing here, and then this is the starting rock. Interesting starting rock. It's a stairway up here, and we've got to find our way through this lantana uphill. I only guessed about 100 to 120 metres in elevation that we had to rise, so we were just below it in the Albert River. There's Tower Rock above us. Just trying our hardest to push through this lantana. It's really thick. Nearly to the base though. We've just come around all the way along the base. We're here on the southern shoulder of Tower Rock, and this is our way up. This is a way up. Look at that. And there are views on the northwestern side. So we made it. The worst part of it was the lantana at the bottom, but we found some patches without the lantana. It's the rest of the Albert Valley. Now, point out where we were, just there, and then we were skirting. Let me move across a bit. without falling off the cliff. We were skirting along these cliffs here trying to find a way down. We couldn't. There possibly was one right there ahead of us. Yeah, this is the closest part into the Albert River there. And then we have the views of the Kerry Valley. Pretty nice. More of Tower Rock. The northwest corner of the rock. Well, that other side had better views of, well, some of the Aberrant stuff. Going up to Mount Widgie here. There's Mount Widgie there. The rest of the Kerry Valley.
Alright, I'm gonna look out.